Hi, my name is Alex and I welcome you to today's video. With Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Switch players get the fourth Dragon Ball game from Bandai Namco. Find out whether it is one of the better or worse games in our review. This time you play completely straightforward stories from the Dragon Ball Z era in chronological order, which lacks extra stories like for example in Xenoverse 2. Of course, the action RPG still offers enough content. In keeping with the name, the story doesn't begin in Son Goku's childhood as an abandoned monkey boy. Instead, you fight your way through the later years of Dragon Ball Z, in which Vegeta, Frieza or Cell appear. While defending Earth and other worlds, Son Goku encounters hordes of alien creeps, some of whom become allies in the later fight against an even greater evil. The developers packed the series' typical fast 3D fights in a lush RPG. There are, among other things, pleasingly branching talent trees for super abilities and all sorts of deliciously steamy food buffs whose ingredients you collect, trade, hunt or fish for. While switching between the open levels of the world map, some of which are dotted with futuristic towns, you still quickly notice that the overall mood of the drawn anime originals is nicely and appropriately captured in the third dimension. Amidst stiffly acting passerby and closed buildings, you never get the impression of really moving through a lively world in the style of Witcher 3, but at least you meet a lot of obscure acquaintances along the way. At the center of the story are, of course, the gigantic battles, which are still pleasantly unconventional and beginner-friendly. A large part of the combos and special attacks can be unleashed with simple button combinations. The boring memorization of complex inputs is not necessary here. Instead, it's all about the right tactics and quick reactions, for example when the stun bar of the opponent has been emptied. The high number of monotonous random battles while you traverse the extensive areas provides for a slight mood dampener in between. Of course, you can strengthen yourself a bit with the help of differently strong robots, however, we often just flew on annoyed as soon as the red signal for an imminent raid appeared. Also, the simple protection and fetch missions that make up a large part of the side missions are only exciting to a limited extent. Overall, CyberConnect 2 has a better grip on the balance by now. While it often remains too easy in the first few hours, later on you may suddenly crash into a boss villain that is too strong if you haven't beefed yourself up a bit beforehand. You can see that the Switch struggles a bit with the open world and the effect-rich duels. Despite some framerate drops, Kakarot remains playable without problems. The art style familiar from the anime hides many downgrades like the lower resolution, which makes the game look good even on Nintendo's hybrid console. Only particle effects during certain attacks suffer from the lower resolution. So let's come to a conclusion. So many crazy ideas, so many great memories. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot reminded me once again why I was highly addicted to anime many years ago. It's the best way yet to relive the entire years of the Z anime in a playful way. Finally, no more muddled time travel. Instead, there's a chronological reappraisal with motivating battles against tough opponents as well as bombastic attacks. My enjoyment of the game is only thwarted by the somewhat empty and stiff world as well as the annoying too frequent random battles. Also a bit disappointing is the lack of some previously released DLC which should be included in a full price title a year after the release of the other versions. For these reasons I rate Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for the Nintendo Switch a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. If you liked it, we would be very happy about a like and a subscription, or if you're interested in getting early access to our future reviews, feel free to visit our Patreon page.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.